Hello and welcome to this video about Ian Birk, a former Seattle police officer whose actions led to a highly controversial and tragic incident in 2010. Birk's involvement in a fatal shooting of a Native American woodcarver sparked widespread shock and outrage, and called into question the accountability and transparency of law enforcement. In this video, we will explore the events that led to Birk's downfall, his subsequent trial, and the far-reaching consequences of the shooting. Ian Birk picked up reputation ever since the circumstances encompassing the shooting of John T. Williams and the consequent discussion that surrounded the occurrence. The shooting of Williams was especially questionable since he was a local American woodcarver who was known within the Seattle community for his craftsmanship. The truth that he was unarmed and had a little carving cut at the time of the shooting, moreover, raised questions about the use of force by law authorization officers. Additionally, the reality that Birk was a Seattle police officer and had a lot of experience preparing with the use of force and de-escalation strategies made the shooting all the more stunning to many within the Seattle community and past. The situation was covered broadly by the media and started riots and calls for responsibility from activists and community individuals. Birk's ensuing trial and the choice not to charge him with a wrongdoing included to his reputation. Many saw the choice not to charge him as a disappointment of the equity framework to hold law authorization officers responsible for their activities. The contention encompassing the case, moreover, drove to expanded examination of the Seattle Police Division and the strategies of the use of force. By and large, Ian Birk picked up notoriety and reputation due to his inclusion in a high-profile occurrence that raised critical questions about the use of force by law authorization officers, especially in cases including people encountering a mental well-being emergency or from marginalized communities. His activities and the attention that was given to the situation, moreover, started discussions about responsibility, straightforwardness, and the part of law authorization in our communities. Ian Birk is considered a degenerate cop by some people, given the situation leading up to the shooting of John T. Williams. Birk had gotten broad preparation with the use of force and de-escalation strategies, and he was anticipated to utilize these aptitudes to resolve circumstances gently and without turning to the use of deadly force. Be that as it may, with the case of John T. Williams, Birk failed to utilize these strategies and instead chose to utilize dangerous force against an unarmed man who posed no threat to anybody. The shooting was afterward found to be unjustified by an audit board and was the subject of a profoundly disputable trial. Also, a few have criticized Birk's activities after the shooting as proof of debasement. After the occurrence, Birk at first claimed that Williams had made a move on him forcefully with a cut, a claim that was afterwards found to be untrue. Birk chose not to help Williams after the shooting, instead choosing to bind him and call for reinforcement. Appeared to show a lack of judgment and readiness, and instead show a readiness to cover up his claim, botches, and offense. In general, Birk's activities driving up to and after the shooting of John T. Williams have been the subject of critical contention and feedback, and have driven a few to see him as a degenerate cop who refused to maintain his obligation to serve and ensure the open. Ian Birk was born on January 6 of 1980 in Seattle, Washington. He graduated from the College of Washington with a degree in reasoning and joined the Seattle Police Office in 2006. Birk was a part of the department's Spike Watch unit and was considered to be a promising youthful officer. On August 30th of 2010, Ian Birk encountered John T. Williams, a local American woodcarver, who was walking down the road carrying a bit of wood and a carving cutter. Birk asked Williams to drop the cutter, but Williams did not comply. Birk at that point shot 4 shots at Williams, killing him. The shooting started shock and dissent from the local American community and other activists who criticized Birk for utilizing intemperate drive and for coming up short to de-escalate the circumstance. Witnesses too debated Birk's account of the occasions, driving up to the shooting, driving to questions around his validity and the lawfulness of his activities. Taking after the shooting, the Seattle Police Office propelled an examination into the occurrence. The examination found that Birk had abused division policy by not holding up for reinforcements sometime recently, going up against Williams, which he had utilized in temper drive by shooting Williams when he posed no prom risk. Birk was let go from the Seattle Police Office in 2011, and the Ruler District Prosecutor's Office charged him with second-degree murder. Amid his trial, Birk affirmed that Williams posed a threat to his life, which made him fear for his life. In any case, prosecutors contended that Birk had acted neglectfully and had not depleted all other choices sometime recently, turning to dangerous constraint. In 2012, a jury cleared Birk of the murder charge but found him guilty of a lesser charge of misdemeanor murder. He was sentenced to 80 hours of community benefit and was banned from working in law authorization once more. The shooting of John T. Williams and the ensuing trial of Ian Birk highlighted numerous issues inside the Seattle Police Office and the broader law authorization community. The occurrence raised questions about the use of constraint by police officers and the require for more successful de-escalation strategies. It moreover highlighted the need for more noteworthy straightforwardness and responsibility inside police divisions. In reaction to the shooting, the Seattle Police Division made a few changes, counting require emergency intercession, preparing for all officers, the foundation of a civilian-led office of proficient responsibility, and the need for body cameras for all patrol officers. The shooting of John T. Williams and the trial of Ian Birk could be a stark update of the challenges that law authorization faces when managing with people who may be encountering a mental well-being emergency. The occurrence highlights the require for law requirement organizations to embrace more comprehensive approaches to managing with people in emergency, counting the use of emergency mediation groups and mental well-being experts. It too underscores the significance of compelling communication between law authorization and mental well-being experts to guarantee that people in emergency get the treatment that they require. The occurrence moreover raises critical questions about the part of race in policy and the unbalanced effect of police savagery on communities of color. The shooting of John T. Williams was one of a few occurrences in Seattle and over the nation that raised concerns about the use of constraint by police officers against dark, innate, and individuals of color communities. The occurrence highlighted the require for more prominent mindfulness and sensitivity among law authorization officers towards the encounters and points of view of marginalized communities and the significance of building a trust between law authorization officers and the communities they serve. The shooting of John T. Williams by Ian Birk was a defining moment in the history of the Seattle Police Department and a wake-up call for law enforcement agencies across the country. The incident sparked a wave of shock, outrage, and calls for change in the Seattle community and beyond. Although Birk was ultimately held accountable for his actions, the impact of his actions will be felt for years to come. As we reflect on this tragic event, it is important to recognize the importance of transparency, accountability, and integrity in policing. We must work towards creating a more just and equitable society where incidents like this one does not occur. Let us all honor the memory of John T. Williams by continuing to demand accountability and justice for all, and by working together to build a more compassionate and equitable world for everyone. Thank you for watching.